We always tell clients the same thing. When a windfall is on the horizon or has just arrived, the first 90 days matter more than the next 10 years, if you will.
Yeah, and you think 90 days isn't a lot, but it really does matter.
Yeah, and it's in those early first few weeks, emotions tend to outpace strategy, and we see that over and over again.
Yeah, so tell us how that looks.
Yeah, so lifestyle commitments, if you will, made for any plan is in place. Loans might be made to family members or close friends, maybe under emotional pressure. Investment decisions may be made. Somebody comes up with a hot topic. A brother-in-law comes up with this great idea, or they hear some podcaster with this great idea. You might go out and make a knee-jerk reaction to make a big purchase.
Yeah.
And all these take place in real quick succession: a vacation, a renovation, maybe a new car,
Right.
and sometimes these occur within the first 6 months.
Right. Why is it always the brother-in-law that's?
I don't know. The brother-in-law always takes the fall. That's for sure. Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, sometimes people are just paralyzed by not knowing what to do, and they're not being efficient with the money they did inherit. It's just sitting there rotting in a checking account or something.
Yeah, kind of like analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
if you will. And that's the money arrives at the worst possible time. It's usually in the form of an inheritance when that occurs. It's such an emotional event, a strenuous time. And because of that, maybe there's some angst tied to that money, and sometimes that'll just sit for years.
Yeah.
In cases.
Right. And then there's a concept that I'm very familiar with, and I'll tell you how in a minute, but the house money effect. Money that you didn't expect, you didn't really work for to earn or anything like that, and the rational part of your brain says, it's just money I didn't need, and so you take bigger risks, you do spending and that kind of thing, and so. How I'm familiar with that is, and many of you parents out there, just give your kids an extra $50 one day and see how that money works. Or another thing is when you go someplace with your kids on vacation or something like that, and they have been working, their windfall is that you're going to spend all your money on them, right?
That's right. Yeah.
They're not going to spend their money.
It's amazing. So, there's some data that backs this up. Roughly 72% of Americans say they don't feel confident managing a windfall. Their overall ability to manage that influx of money.
Yeah, but a lot of those people feel very confident to, when they do receive a windfall or something, to give a chunk of it away, so.
Yeah. And that, so it brings us to the patterns.